When the grandmothers first came, it didn't take long until they introduced me and then everybody else to what they call the net of light, and said that the net of light covers the earth. And at first they talked about it, or at least I understood it, like it was a great fishing net that spread over the earth and, covered everywhere. And they said, we're all connected. You are all connected in the net of light. And they told us to walk forward and take our place on the net of light and find the place that felt right for each of us. And so I did that, and everyone did that. They said where two of the sections come together in a cross or a T, sit down there and connect with the net of light. This is the net of light, they said, that holds the earth and will support the earth during the times of change that are coming. This was in 1997 when they first did this. And so for several years they would talk about these times of change that were coming and how the net of light would give stability and sustenance to the earth so it could withstand these shifting energies. A few years ago, they started to talk about the times of change that are now upon you. And so it was clear that we are, as most of us know, in those times of change that had been foretold for so long. And the grandmothers say the energies on earth are shifting now, and they must shift. Were things to have to continue the way they were going, with the energy of yang becoming ever more extended, more strident, more out there, and no yin to support it, to hold it, to balance it, would tip right over the edge and destroy the earth. And they said that they've said that will not happen. The energy of yin must come in now in increasing supply to moderate, support, and harmonize this energy of yang. When I was first working with them, I had great difficulty understanding this because I'd lived in a yang world and that's all I knew. So I couldn't understand what was this power of yin. So I would ask them, and I think they must have just gotten, fed up with trying to explain. So being the consummate teachers they are, they showed me. They said to me, okay, come here, look. And then they pointed. And I was standing with them at like the edge of a cliff or a high promontory. And I could see very far. And way, way out there, I saw dust or cloud moving back and forth, and then I could see there was an animal running, and I watched and I could see, it was like a longhorn steer, and it was racing, and it had a rawhide tether tied around its neck, and it would race to the end of that tether, and the tether would jerk, and the animal would, like that, and then it would run the other way, do the same thing, and it was exhausted, and it was scared, and it was slobbering, and the steam was coming off of it. It was frantic. Grandmothers brought me up very close, and I jumped behind them because it was scary. It was so out of control. And they said, this is the energy of yang as it is on your earth today. It is helpless to stop itself. Without the intervention of yin, yang is helpless and out of control. And I got it. I understood. That's it. And that's why women are being called to come in and take their place and hold this power of yin, not only for ourselves, it does such good for us, but for the good of all life, men, animals, plants, minerals, the atmosphere, everything. It was an enormous teaching, and I've told that story of the bull since then, and I put it in the first of the grandmother's books, A Call to Power, The Grandmothers Speak. And along with that, that was a real pivotal teaching because I was able at last to get outside my yang framework and see beyond that and see, oh yes, I can see this imbalance. And I can also see that no one is to blame for it. That bull could not have stopped himself to save his life. He was beside himself with terror, and he could do nothing more than run like a crazed beast. until the energy of yin came in to hold and support and calm him. So that was a seminal teaching, and the other seminal teaching was about the net of light that covers the earth and supports all life on earth. We'd worked with this net of light for maybe 5 years or so, and I still thought of it as this fishing net that covered the earth from the outside, holding it. And then I began to see that it was inside the earth as well. It was inside me as well. The net of light was not external. It was like this fabric, part of the fabric of being that held everything inside the body, outside the body, in the atmosphere, in the waters, in the earth, in the mountain ranges, in the deserts, everywhere, on the freeways, in high-rise buildings, everywhere is this net of light, holding steady in light, with light, to support all of us as we go through this sometimes very difficult shifting change we're living through now. So every time we have a grandmother's meeting, we always work with the net of light. The grandmothers ask that we do this for ourselves and to serve the planet. And we do this. And what's happened over the years is many of us have experienced this. I certainly have. The net of light has grown stronger, more pervasive, thicker, brighter, everywhere. And we continue this work, and we will always continue this work. And an interesting thing happened. I just thought this was a teaching from the grandmothers, and it was called the net of light, and that's all I knew. Then I began to hear people speak of the grid, the web of light, the web, different names. And I realized, and I asked the grandmothers, and then I realized as well, oh, these are all the same. These are just different names for the same construct of light that supports life on earth. And then someone sent me something that came from the Hindu Vedas, which are probably 7,000 or 8,000 years old now. And in it they talk about Indra's net, Indra being the god of the sun. And it's the net of light. So this is a timeless construct that the grandmothers are making us aware of so that we can work with it now. Each time we think of the net of light, each time we think of holding the net of light, being held by the net of light, it strengthens. So now within our community, the grandmothers, whenever there's a tragedy anywhere, we magnify the net of light. We do that for ourselves, and we do that for everything that lives.